Cross your fingers and hope for the best.
The biggest creators in the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know if I should talk about it. Some have been defrauded, others are associated, and most are plain embarrassed. But I don't want to get sued. I mean, what do you think I should do?
Here, have a drink. And maybe start at the beginning?
Thanks. It started 2 months ago.
Okay.
Hello, this is Coffeezilla.
I know who you are, and I've got something for you.
Tell me more.
Alright, well this is for sure a lie. There's no way you look that cool.
Okay, maybe I exaggerated the setting a bit, but I did get a call.
Okay.
Hello?
Coffeezilla, I've got a scam for you. It's called Revolt. Huge influencers, lies, people haven't been paid.
How much are we talking?
Not sure. Rumors 5 mil, and some of the merchandise still hasn't shipped. You interested?
Yeah, can I sort?
Okay, revolt, not to be confused with revolt. Or whatever you're supposed to pronounce the other thing.
Curse you?
Nah, keep me anonymous on this one.
Now this sounds more like the coffee I know.
Yeah, you're missing the point. After getting this call and finishing my very important business, I started digging around. But the same word kept cropping up. So you have heard of Revolt. Can I put this on the record?
No, keep it anonymous.
All right, this is great info, but how do you feel about going public?
Sorry, keep my name out of it. Keep me anonymous, please.
Yeah, I can keep you anonymous, sure.
Okay.
I was hitting a wall and I was getting frustrated. Little by little, though, a picture emerged. Not fully on the record, not fully off.
I'm also frustrated because I don't understand what this is about at all.
The voices of more than a dozen anonymous calls complaining about this one merch company, Revolt, run by a guy named Ryan Piacente.
Oh, good. You probably should have honestly started with that.
Isn't he the guy who runs the Misfits?
Yeah, the YouTuber group. And believe me, they'll be involved later. The point is, I was hearing about this merch company, Revolt, and everyone said in 2019 through 2021, it was extremely successful, working with everyone. And of course, in exchange for this success, Revolt was happy to take a cut of each of these merch drops. In fact, I obtained some of Revolt's sales numbers from 2021, showing how much only 5 of their drops made, 20 million in revenue. I mean, mind-blowing numbers.
Okay.
These creators, who I've hidden for privacy, made $12 million. Revolt, for their cut, should have made $4 million.
Now that is a mystery. How do you screw up such a business making so much money?
That's what I wanted to find out. Problem was, no one would go public.
Then you have nothing.
What's the accusation? I feel he should have started with explaining what revolt is instantaneously and then what's the accusation. Because currently, there's this underlying big mystery of something bad happening, and what exactly are they doing? What's the scam here?
Right? Rumors, innuendo, maybe. But if no one will talk...
No, that's the thing that kills me about this story. Most of the creators did talk. Employees talked. Everyone behind the scenes, they couldn't stop talking. This is why I'm struggling with this story. If it was just off the record, I'd kill it. If everyone was on the record...
It's an easy story.
Right, but it's neither. I'm in limbo.
Well, let's just get to what the accusations are then.
Yes, please.
Anonymously.
I was just getting to that. As I was saying, Revolt made huge profits, massive merch drops, but there was another side of things. Ryan Piacente had a spending problem. He took 6 private jet trips in a month.
Okay.
Thousands of dollars every night on dinner. We have receipts for, by the way. They spent $25,000 a week to rent a mansion in LA.
Okay.
And they rented a Ferrari for $20,000 for a week.
Okay.
But the thing was, it wasn't really Ryan footing the bill. It was actually...
Revolt.
Right. Even as this company's raking in money, hand over fist, they were
Okay.
spending more than they could afford, which was brought up to Ryan as a problem.
So why aren't you a millionaire?
He spends money like a
way.
Did you always spend money like an idiot?
Yeah, I've always spent money like a. I mean, the thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most part because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
Yikes. So they just spent it all? Is that
Sounds like your typical loser in school who wanted to buy everyone's friendship. Okay.
it? Is that the scam?
No. You're getting ahead of me. Look, mind topping me off?
Sure. If it'll get you to spill the beans. So what else?
Well,
Hey, you gotta give it to Coffeezilla. He's really good at two things. One is extending these videos as long as possible. Two is, reading up on already available news articles and then claiming that he investigated something. Hey, he's really good at that. You gotta give him props.
the spinning part was just the start of it. At this point, Ryan's plan was described to me by a source who knew him as Creator A does a drop. Ryan would then spend a large chunk of that on private jets, Nobu, Balenciaga, and then Creator B does a drop, but Creator A still owed money. And so Ryan pays Creator A with Creator B's money. A little Ponzi-ish, if you ask.
That's not a scam. As long as it's in the allocated time of payout, that's not a scam. Is that a super stupid way to do business and can potentially become illegal? Yes. But is that a scam? No, that's not a scam. That's just a very, very bad way of dealing business that has a very easy way to slipping into becoming illegal.
But the key here is that this works as long as each merch drop is bigger than the last. You can keep paying for everything. But Revolt was starting to have issues. According to former employees, Revolt had terrible logistics experience, which is okay when you sell 400 units, but when you sell 40,000 in one day, that's a problem. Not only that, Revolt is starting to pull in bigger and bigger talent, and these influencers are demanding bigger and bigger minimum guarantees. Ryan agrees, but things aren't like before. Some of those merch drops underperform. Now Revolt owes money not just to minimum guarantees, but they also were counting on these new merch drops to pay their older clients. So they start delaying
Makes sense.
payments.
Here we go.
Okay.
That's right. For the first time, creators, they start actually posting about their experiences. Not off the record, publicly.
Honestly, it's actually a really nice t-shirt, like in like a chill way.
Thank you. We're not going to talk about the company I made it with because they stole everything from me.
So,
Okay. So, did Coffee actually receive anonymous tips, or are the tips always going to be anonymous because he didn't actually receive any tips and it's just all publicly available knowledge as always? Man!
okay, like I get they're a bad company. Can you put me on their send list, please? Just like for everyone. I'll take all their merch.
Dude, I'm not sure anyone will ever make merch with them again after recently.
It was finally happening. Big creators had started to talk about Revolt. Carl Jacobs said they're the worst people ever that just blatantly lie. Smosh founder Anthony Padilla says Revolt still hasn't paid me. It's been months. Now, I should say, for the record, that he eventually got his issue resolved. But underneath his post, another creator posted, Niachu, saying they haven't paid me either. Now, I called her, and for the first time in this case, I got a breakthrough.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think he didn't get any anonymous tips. Because you can talk about these anonymous tips, what they are saying. He didn't say anything. He didn't give any of the story. He just put out the bare minimum. He said, hey, there's this company, they're doing bad things. And then he showed publicly available information and people who came out. So, I'm gonna say, I don't think Coffeezilla received a single tip. Because hey, a source can stay anonymous without problems, and you can easily say what that source said, as long as it doesn't expose them. Okay, and if there's a lot of people with a lot of problems and all the problems sound similar, you can't. Those people who are doing the wrong will not nail down a single source because every source probably is honestly saying the same thing. The only time that you do not tell what the source actually told you about is when you don't really have a source, because if you're afraid that someone's gonna sue you, well, you don't want to be the guy who made a video on false pretend that he has so many different sources telling you different things, because you need to prove that the source exists. And if you don't have an existing source, you lied, and you're probably losing. in a court if you get sued by the company that did wrong. So, yeah, I'm gonna press big X to doubt that that there is even a source for Coffeezilla, not just publicly available information. Because this is what Coffeezilla has done for, I don't know, the last a lot of videos. He started off like, you know, he actually did investigations, like props to him. But recently, he does not investigate anything. He pretty much just looks at already known stuff, publicly available information, and then just says, I investigated something, and then he just provides purely publicly known information that can be Googled, and that's it. Now, yeah, I think Coffeezilla one day is going to be absolutely, you know, destroyed because of this, because he's not finding the big scoops.
I'm Nikki Niachu. I'm a Twitch streamer, and Revolt owes me $300,000.
Wow.
That's so hard to hear. That's so unbelievable.
And it wasn't just her not getting paid. She explained that also people who ordered from her, some of them didn't even get their order.
After everything was shipped.
And this is the classic thing Coffeezilla does, by the way. Again, since he has less actual evidence and proof of wrongdoings and whatnot, he has started, he relies on just selling you emotions. He every video that he does in, I don't know, last 5 videos, the bare minimum probably, he's like, oh, look at these poor people. They got scammed. Yeah, it's so bad. They're so sad. They lost everything and blah, blah, blah. He makes it a sob story. And I guess this is it. This is where he just, you know, does the sob story thing. Oh, poor innocent people got scammed. They lost $20. They're gonna go homeless now. Yeah, that's what he does.
First of all, a lot of people in Europe didn't get their merch. And I messaged them about it, and they said, yeah, we'll look into it. Never did. A lot of my friends who bought merch never received it.
To this date.
Yes.
These orders, which were in 2020.
She should just wear less clothing and make an OnlyFans, and there you go. You don't need to sell merch, like, bruh.
Yes.
Have not been sent out or received.
Yes.
Now, as bad as that sounds, as I looked closer, I realized this was common, really common. Delays, missing orders. Sometimes the order would just be wrong, like when they.
You see, if he had sources, he would have said in this part, as my sources were telling me, yeah, a lot of people came out, but he's just now showing publicly available information. Yeah, I am willing to bet money that he doesn't have sources. Maybe one person told him about, yeah, this company scammed me and not paid me money, but that's pretty much probably it. There's not countless people telling him, oh, this is a giant scam. No. Again, I would be shocked if there was. Because again, he would say, this was exactly what the people who contacted me told me, and now there's proof of this, and it's corroborated by these people going online and saying it. But he's not saying it like that.
Out a pin collection, but forgot the pins. Now, because of this, an insider at Revolt told me that in December of 21, they had over 100,000 customer support tickets open for quality issues and items not being shipped. And that gets us to the good part.
Okay, that's believable, but again, that's different from the sources that contacted him, yeah.
In a world where common sense takes a backseat and physics is just a suggestion, comes a movie that punches logic in the face.
Are you ready for best pizza of life? Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot.
This is a part of his video.
Our chefs make pizza with heart and special touch.
Tired of watching low-effort content? Then come on down. Patreon.com/Coffeezilla.
Oh.
If you support high-effort investigations, you also
Dude, still using Patreon in the current year.
get all these perks. But wait, there's more. Imagine your name up in lights. It's a $50,000 value, and it also helps us
merch.
What I didn't tell you is that it was all.
Nope.
Yeah, made me want to sell merch. Pour you another one.
Where were we? Can I get another drink, actually?
Yeah, I'll pour you another one.
Thanks. Remember that insider document I showed you earlier?
Yeah. Made me want to sell merch.
What I didn't tell you is that it was all part of a pitch deck for MrBeast. See, Ryan Piacente had met Jimmy, and he wanted to convince him to work with Revolt. So he creates this pitch deck. You've seen the other creator sales numbers, but there were also ideas for MrBeast in there, like NFTs you could redeem for merch. And there were also some financial projections.
Nice.
On their first drop together, Revolt claimed MrBeast would make $4 million. Across 3 years, $50 million in annual profit.
There's no way.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe the team was delusional enough to think it was possible, though.
Well, it's not about being okay, so let me explain from an actual finance standpoint how this shit works. This is just a prediction. And this is just a prediction on an estimated growth, and they probably get these numbers from other creators or, you know, the best of creators, and so this is just intended to convince MrBeast that this is profitable, essentially. This is all it does. If these numbers are true, good. If they're even better, amazing. If they're worse, well, you know, it happens, but you're still getting money anyway, and as long as the contract is signed. This is just all about getting the contract here. They probably are, they're probably averaging the creators they have working with, and then just upscaling it to MrBeast numbers with the average percentile of sales per subscriber. And, you know, that's what they're doing. And, you know, then accounting for MrBeast's growth and things like that. This is not illegal. This is not anything. This is just the numbers estimation. This is completely normal, by the way, if anyone's wondering. This is as normal as it gets. If MrBeast got by this, by the way, that's his own fault. Okay? The company did nothing out of the ordinary here.
$50 million in annual profit?
There's no way.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe the team was delusional enough to think it was possible, though. So I asked. According to insiders at the company, they actually met Jimmy and started discussing minimum...
By the way, that's not impossible. Because 50 million in profit would be... Well, let's not say profit, but let's say making 50 million. How hard that is? Well, that is as hard as getting 1% of less than 1%, by the way, of MrBeast's audience to just buy something worth $50. That's how easy it is to get 50 mil, by the way. These estimations are not crazy, honestly.
Guarantees and how Revolt would 10x his merch business over the next 2 years. But check this out. This being impossible was openly discussed by the Revolt team.
Oh, no.
Yeah, obviously. That's also not illegal. This is common practice, okay? If you get fished by something like that in business, that's your fault for being stupid, okay? Because they probably did not promise him these results. They just offered them estimates. And they probably used the max estimates, you know, that are 50% higher than the average that they honestly expect. It is what it is. This is called business, baby.
They knew?
Yeah. And this is where
everyone knows.
So MrBeast gets this minimum guarantee deal to do his 100 million subscriber collection with Revolt, right?
Yes.
But Revolt doesn't sell like they claimed they would. It does revenue way below expected, meaning Revolt didn't hit their minimum guarantee.
So what do they do?
Wait, did they Okay, so, this is the problem. So the Revolt people are idiots who couldn't even get you know, the average guarantees, right? Because again, selling MrBeast the idea of X high, that's good. If MrBeast agrees to that, that's on him for being stupid. You know, like MrBeast burgers and, you know, these nuts and whatnot. Because MrBeast is not that smart when it comes to the rest of the world. He's just good at making videos. Okay? So, that's a thing. But these guys, oh my god, how did they overestimate themselves? That is just crazy. Or they maybe overestimated MrBeast's selling capabilities because his audience is a bunch of 12-year-olds. I don't know. They should... My bet is they did not ask MrBeast's previous sales numbers. That would be my bet. So, their average, or maybe they did this. Maybe they actually did their average on, the bet is that they did not ask any statistics from MrBeast. That's the bet. That's why they failed. Because they didn't probably ask nor his average audience. They did not ask his average audience, you know, age and whatnot, and how much he sold in other situations. This is how they screw up. Okay? because then they probably didn't do a reasonable average. Because keep in mind, on their side, they're actually doing reasonable averages. They're doing the average, they're looking at the minimum, and then they're looking at the maximum, and then they're like saying, yeah, if we get the minimum, we're still fine. That's how you should do things. So they overestimated MrBeast's ability to sell, probably. Or they were really stupid and wanted to get MrBeast through the door with ludicrously high minimum payout. In any case, ineptitude is not a sin. It's just being stupid. Well, being stupid is a sin.
This is where things dip into fraud, right? Our insider says, I assume this is when they decided to increase cost of goods. Meaning Revolt charged MrBeast more for every item of clothing than he was actually paying for at the factory.
That's a pretty huge accusation. Where's the
That's not illegal.
evidence?
My question exactly. I got sent this.
What exactly am I looking at here?
What I just sent you is the pricing sheet from the Chinese factory, top left. You can see the invoice item says RVLT, meaning Revolt, MRB, MrBeast. There's unit order sizes and prices.
And what are these ink marks?
That's where changes were made.
Yeah.
So somebody wrote down next to the factory prices, new prices, higher prices.
Oh! So, okay, so this is the illegal part, I guess. So, essentially, they're increasing the price per unit that MrBeast has to put down per item actually sold. Okay, it makes sense. It does make sense. Without saying this or without legitimate cause, this is illegal. Okay.
Did you talk to MrBeast about
By the way, it's not a scam. This is not a scam. This is blatantly illegal.
this?
Well, nobody would talk on the record, but I confirmed that Revolt charged higher prices to their team like it says in ink. Revolt charged more per item than they were actually paying the Chinese factories, according to their own insiders.
Who else did this happen to?
That's the thing, we don't know. I asked around and the closest I got was an answer from a former employee. This person claims right as I was exiting the business, he started talking about that. The production manager said she could get the factories to write whatever she wanted on invoices.
Oh, really? Dude, if this is gonna be some kind of huge revelation now that, that can be done, I'm gonna lose my mind if this is gonna be a revel. Oh my god, you can change that! Yeah, you can. It's China. You literally ask them. You can literally do this with companies. You can ask them, what is this your first time ever seeing stuff like this? You can literally ask them and some will agree. Because they don't give a shit. They're not gonna get sued. The Chinese whatever is not gonna get sued.
So it's definitely possible this happened.
Well, if they get sued, it doesn't matter. But again, if it's China, China doesn't care. You can't even sue China from being from the US. Or maybe technically you can, but it doesn't go anywhere because China does not care. Trust me, MrBeast suing them and saying I want my money back. Yeah, China's not gonna care at all.
It's hard to say. What I do know is when the money ran out, it all fell apart.
Obviously.
Well, the merch business has a lot of middlemen. People who create the shirts, warehouses, store it, fulfillment centers. The thing is, Ryan was running out of money for all of it. What is this? Misfits merch company going under. Earlier this year, the Salvation Army Arc Memphis received a donation of 100+ clothing items from Revolt Factory, the merch company. This ranges from Corpse Husband hoodies to Swagger Soul hoodies and other scuffed merch. With everything coming out without the Misfits quietly shutting down, it makes sense that they were selling and donating old stock.
They donated it?
Basically, from what I heard, the storage fees weren't paid on time to the fulfillment center, so they donated people's clothing to get rid of it. So not only are people not getting their merch on time, some of it is literally randomly sitting on eBay because Revolt didn't pay their bills on time.
I assume you reached out to Ryan Piacente about all this though, right?
Yeah, multiple times. And we might have talked, but he ghosted me.
Oh, really?
When the next wave of accusations came.
Then I think it's time to go public about this.
Wait, so, Wait, so this is another video where Coffeezilla just pretends to actually investigate anything. So this is he hasn't investigated anything again. All of this is publicly available information, and he's just presenting it as he did an investigation. Yeah, he probably reached out to a couple of people, but he's working off of publicly available information, and then he probably, you know, just DM'd a couple of people and they got him back. He doesn't have a lot of information for an investigator. Like, the best one we have here is the actual price of units and blah, blah, blah. And I guess there was one other... Is it even a tweet? Can you call it a tweet? I don't know. But yeah, so, man, Coffeezilla is just blatantly taking public information. He's a news channel, not an investigation channel. And this is all public information. And then he just pretends that the people are giving him information and, you know, tips and whatnot. Crazy.
Did you say there's more accusations?
I mean, the thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I...
The guy's literally just LARPing as an investigator at this point. I've been investigating a week now. Okay, DM me to talk. Yeah, there we go. So he doesn't probably even find people that he himself needs to DM. He just puts out a diss, and then because he's famous, people retweet, and well, that's essentially just how it works. Yeah. He just puts out a tweet like this. Maybe someone DMs him. Maybe they give him a little bit of information, and that's it. This is crazy. The guy's a literal news channel that just pretends that he's investigating stuff at this point.
I spend is actually on other people for the most part because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
You're a psychopath. Actually, or maybe a sociopath, whatever the difference is.
Operational sociopath.
That is a character you have, though.
By the way, this tweet, I don't know if you read it, but it said, hey, hey, I heard that you're making a video. Again, he doesn't even contact people. He just tweets out and hopes that someone contacts him. Oh my god, this is so crazy.
Welcome back to the $10 million studio. I was investigating what I thought was a case of financial fraud, but what happened next made it also a case of YouTube's own version of Harvey Weinstein. And I don't mean to say that to exaggerate the severity of the accusations you're about to hear. I do say it to convey the seriousness, similarities, and signal that the following is disturbing. Now, if that sounds a little too graphic, I understand if you need to click off the video. We normally don't cover these types of allegations. However, I felt that given we found this...
however, the video would not be long enough.
Halfway through the investigation, we couldn't ignore it. See, it all started last year when there was a serious allegation about Ryan Piacente being a predator. It was made by an insider at The Misfits, the YouTubers that Ryan managed, and this guy went by Peckett. These allegations range from being coerced into inappropriate acts, witnessing Ryan perv on his employees in the shower, break into clients' phones to search for private photos, take advantage of men who he has given way too much alcohol and drugs, and a lot more. Now, when this accusation first came out, and at the start of me investigating, there wasn't much in the way of proof. The only thing verifiable was that Ryan encouraged others to get trashed, which we know because the Misfits themselves talked about it.
So funny compared to like now when that's just the norm. Like people get f***ed up all the time.
No,
he's just... Yeah, so he's just reporting stuff that other people said. Yeah, all of this is just LARPing as he investigated. Bruh, maybe I actually investigated it. Oh my god, I investigated and Coffeezilla stole everything from... Yeah, that's what we're going with.
It's the one encouraging everyone else to...
Yeah.
Now, besides this piece of evidence, there wasn't much else.
Okay. Is he gonna have someone crying about how life is sad and bad under him at the end? Let's check. No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, I was suspecting that he is gonna do it. So he probably didn't find anyone. So he didn't find anyone who's who's willing to go on camera and cry about how that guy ruined their lives. Okay, man. I thought we were gonna see that because that's a classic.
The way of corroborating evidence until October, when 2 more stories came out that had very similar stories to the original, and I knew we had to take them very seriously. In one story, a guy who was between 18 and 19 was told...
What do you mean you knew that we have to take them very seriously? Saying that implies that you're doing something, but you're just finding stories online, and that's it.
Told by Ryan, quote, he saw potential in me before being assaulted in the shower. The other guy was in their early 20s and tells a story of how he was invited to a party with the Misfits, a YouTuber group he liked. But in order to get in the house, he was forced to inhale a substance as a condition of entry. Later, extremely intoxicated, he was also assaulted by Ryan Piacente in the shower. Now, let me remind you that these all are allegations. But let me also tell you that 4 other people have come forward who know Ryan and corroborated his character. One person says, one day I'll tell my Ryan P story, but for now I'll just say this. This rabbit hole goes deep. This person has...
Oh, wow, yeah. I mean, okay, so what are we gonna do? Are we gonna just, you know... This is essentially putting the guy on cross without evidence. What happened to, you know, innocent until proven guilty? Okay? These are just uncorroborated stories. I might as well say that Coffeezilla did the same to me. There you go. There you go. And I can get the other people to say that probably. There you go. I mean, this is kind of just, you know, scummy. Like, investigate it, not just... Again, he's literally just reporting news.
Has been abusing his power and money for years. The trail of victims that follow this man is staggering. Another says, I've known Ryan since we were 16. He was always a weird, pervy dude from the...
Bruh, I know Ryan since I was 2, okay? We were actually conjoined twins, if you did not know. Yeah, in the uterus, he already did bad things. I knew he's gonna be bad. That's why we unconjoined. It's true. It's true.
Start. Billy says Ryan P has been a disgusting individual for years. Personally, I've seen him do very questionable things.
Wow.
Yet another says Ryan...
Bruh, the fact that you're... The fact that you're just... He's just taking random tweets. And putting in sad-sounding music. This is the rabbit hole.
P is a master manipulator. I myself was manipulated by him for far too long.
Yeah, and every single time that Destiny has a falling out with someone, that person also is manipulated. By the way, yesterday I watched the Destiny's wife video, the divorce one, and I just have to say, it's hilarious. Every single time there's a big falling out and Destiny is under any risk, the opposite person is a genius evil manipulator. Like, you know, his current ex-wife, or, you know, before that, his other wife, or whatever that person's name was. And that strange guy, what was his name? Mr. Girl, that one. They were all coincidentally master manipulators, by the way. Until they weren't, and then they just became idiots. Because, you know, then he was safe. Man, come on.
But that's not all. That's just what's public. Behind the scenes, I began to receive much more. One guy told me Ryan offered to fly him out and give him $5,000 to cover work. He showed me receipts of this payment from Ryan. He then told me I end up going and it's all good for the first few hours, but when I went to the bathroom, he followed me and without going into detail, assaulted me when I clearly was extremely uncomfortable. Now, this story specifically has a thread we're going to follow because there's numerous allegations Ryan would use money to coerce people into situations they wouldn't otherwise do. Like,
I believe that, though, even without evidence.
Paying this guy $5,000 to come over for work. Or more commonly, he'd pay creators who were struggling for explicit photos of themselves. People sent me emails. They'd get notifying them of Twitter DMs from Ryan asking for explicit photos, along with accompanying payments from Ryan. The reason I'm telling you about all this is not only that it demonstrates this behavior was happening and provides a financial paper trail, but some of it dovetails into fraud. Because as I started asking for some of these financial documents, I found that Ryan would often not just pay.
Wait, what did that say? I turned into him asking me for nudes and shit of Snapchat, and he would give 1,000.
Found that Ryan would often not just pay people from personal accounts. He would use business accounts to pay for these things, specifically the Misfits business.
That's illegal.
Account. Remember, that's the beloved YouTuber group people supported through Patreon.
Yeah, that's illegal. Yeah, that's illegal.
Merch, through a podcast. Turns out their company accounts were being used in part to pay for explicit.
There we go. Yeah. Transaction ID, payment received, Misfits, blah, 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 payment complete. Friends and family, payment type, friends and family, gross. I don't remember. It's been a while since I have looked at PayPal, but shouldn't there be some line that indicates reason oh, payment details. It's empty. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I can fake this, honestly, if I want to. Not that hard. Okay, so this might as well... Again, when situations like this become public, you can easily just, you know... Okay, so how do I explain this in the most simplest way possible? Showing a transaction like this doesn't mean anything if you do not show an accompanying text message of, hey, baby, send me that umfa stuff. You know what I'm saying, boy? Yeah, without a text like that, this is meaningless. This could be a legitimate transaction. Because, you know, payment details. Not inserting payment details is not a big deal, okay? It's not. You can write off that as a small mistake if anyone actually looks into it from the government, and it's like, you know, $5 fucking fee. Well, probably more, but you know, you get the point. It's completely meaningless. This is not evidence of anything without a corroborating email that he asked for something, okay?
Photos of some of the fans of the show. I was shown these payments, and the question is, why even do this? To write it off your taxes? No matter the reason, this is like some weird form of fraud. It's not the...
Wait, is that the same person, by the way? That's strange. First of all, do these lines not match? How does this work? I thought that in PayPal all the lines match. Again, I haven't looked at PayPal for a while. And why would he actually give you 500 for one and 400 for another? What was this, like, verse? Again, these payment details mean nothing.
To write it off your taxes? No matter the reason, this is like some...
Yeah, I mean, this is not evidence of anything. I mean, do I think the guy probably did that? Honestly, yeah. Yeah, again, I said at the start, I don't need evidence to believe this part, but, you know, it's like, damn, dude, like, come on. Also, how the hell did he assault everyone? Like, did no one try to fight back, or... This is a lot of hearsay, okay? This is just a lot of hearsay, and that's pretty much it.
Weird form of fraud. It's not the kind that I normally like to talk about.
No, but seriously... Someone who uses PayPal, why aren't those lines aligned here? That's strange.
But who uses their business account for this? We also need to talk about
Everyone
what happened in
accident.
April of 2016 as well. When Ryan asked a fan, can we get married? When she told him she was 16, he said, come back in 2 years, which would be...
not illegal.
When she was 18. But 1 year later, Ryan reached back out, saying this, quote, I retweeted your selfie.
Illegal! Unless she's in a state where it's not illegal, or he's in a state where it's not illegal. I don't remember how that part works.
Do I get nudes?
Oh, she just says it's illegal. Yeah, okay, so it's illegal.
She replies, that's illegal. He says, quote, don't worry, I ain't no snitch. Now, I asked the person
Nice.
who gave me these if she thought he was joking at the time. She responded, no, I think it was legit because it happened a lot on Snapchat. And he fully, tried to give me money to do it. Now, this once again corroborates the creepy behavior we've seen from Ryan Piacente in the past. So, for those of you who...
What creepy behavior have we seen from him? Well, now this is actual evidence of something. If it's a real conversation, even though we actually don't see. Okay, typically when you're gonna leak something or expose something like this, you do not do it like this. You show the name, the person, so there's validation for it. Not like this. So, wait. Could this be a situation where someone tells Coffeezilla that happened and he just makes his own screenshots like this? And then he just, adds them in for, value for viewers?
Because it now have 5 independent accusations. Who have been counting? We now rates the creepy behavior we've seen from Ryan Piacente.
And also, this doesn't corroborate anything. We have heard allegations, and now he's trying to say that these allegations are corroboration for other allegations without evidence. Now, again, I'm not defending that guy. I probably think this part is very real. About the other parts, I don't know. Would be nice to see a single actual real shred of evidence, not just people randomly saying shit. But, this is not corroboration of anything.
In the past. So, for those of you who have been counting, we now have 5 independent...
Yeah, he's counting the tweets. He's counting the rando tweets of someone saying, I know that guy, he's bad. Yeah, that's... I mean, okay.
Accusations. Some anonymous, some fully on the record. We have multiple forms of evidence. First-hand accounts, DMs, payment processing receipts, and we have 4 independent character testimonies from people who claim to know Ryan.
Independent character testimonies of people who claim to know Ryan. If you're an investigator, at least contact them and ask for proof that they can prove that they know him. Otherwise, they're just... Okay, who is not gonna believe here that some random people on Twitter are just gonna legitimately just say, yeah, victim here, without even knowing who the dude is? Just because they can score some sympathy points and clout on Twitter. Who of you honestly doesn't think that that's a possibility?
Now, as always, I've tried to reach out to Ryan to get his side of the story.
You should have actually reached out to the people saying that and tried to corroborate their story as well. That's what an investigation is. You don't just you don't just hear some rando over the ODing on fentanyl at the side of the street and say, and then you're like, what's that? Ryan did bad things? And he's like, yeah. And then you're like, yep, that's corroboration right there. If you're gonna call yourself an investigator, at least, do the bare minimum.
7 times over 2 months, and have gotten nothing in the way of an explanation. The last I heard,
he doesn't need to give you an explanation. I mean, it's like, he's just saying that because that sounds bad. Oh, Ryan did not respond to a random guy asking for stuff. Oh no, that means he's guilty. This is not how the world works.
Was spotted at an airport, and we have no idea of his whereabouts since.
Wow.
Now,
he doesn't report his whereabouts to you every 5 seconds? Oh man, he's probably in hiding.
Investigation has been exhausting, honestly.
There has been no investigation. I am blatantly just gonna go out and say that this has not been even an investigation.
Both emotionally and just to carry all the details in my heads of all the accusations, the whistleblowers. So I imagine for you it's been kind of confusing as well. So I want to summarize this piece so we don't miss anything. There's really 2 sides to the story. We have Revolt the company and Misfits, a YouTuber group. In one, Ryan is basically accused of running a Ponzi-type merch company where he spent too much money and needed bigger and bigger merch drops to pay off debts and minimum guarantees. When that didn't work, he resorted to...
Wait, so how does that actually implicate all of the people that he said in the start? Does this not... Bruh, Wait, what was the thumbnail for this video? This. It's this. So, his thumbnail is clickbait to make you think that Valkyrie, MrBeast, Antoni Pedila, Corpse Husband are all implicated in this scam and take part in it. That he's gonna expose the big influencers. So, this is just clickbait. Because they're not actually the scammers, they're technically the victims. So, he's trying to clickbait the technical victims of the scam as actual corroborators. Wow. Wait, let's check the start again for a moment.
The biggest creators in the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know.
Yeah, the biggest creators of the world are in the center of a scam. Yeah, that kind of sounds like, you know, Carl Jacobs. That kind of sounds like he's...
If I should talk about it.
Yeah, he's making it out to sound like all of these people are in on it and a part of the scam, that they are the willing participants and orchestrators of it. Yeah, this is as crazy as it gets, my dude.
Merch would just get donated to charity, so that's fun too.
Okay, I'm actually done here. There's probably nothing Coffeezilla can say at this point that's even remotely interesting at the end. Anyway, that was Coffeezilla. That was crazy. Again, my bet for Coffeezilla is that one day he will just blatantly lie about something that he's trying to do. Because the reality is, it's been years since he has actually conducted anything even close to a realist investigation. And he, for the last I don't know how many months, all he has done is essentially just provided news under the guise of he did something and investigated. And that's pretty much it. Pathetic, honestly. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid saying thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.